Should be live. Hey guys. Good morning. Jumping back onto the Peru today. Going to be tackling this area of the neck right here. I think this will probably be a decent amount of work to try and tackle right now. We're gonna try and get all this detail into this neck area with all these osteoderms. So I'm just gonna kind of contemplate how I'm gonna go about this right now. I have a few ideas in mind about how this could work out. I've been thinking about, but it's just about going in and trying all this stuff. So we'll just go ahead and start. All right. So I can see potentially a couple ways I can go into this. The problem is, it's not really a problem, it's just the way it was designed. It's not like on a grid. I think I might have talked about this last time, but it's not on a grid like these scoots, osteoderms. They're offset a little bit, like they're staggered, so they don't line up on the grid of the current topo. But it's like this, so this area here is where they stop. This is where that zone is, I'm going to say. The the other thing I want to take into consideration is I still want to be able to isolate the neck. So anything I do inside this area, I want to be able to keep this loop here. So when I talk about the loop, I mean this line of polys right here is going to be where I create the neck seam for the UVs, most likely. Right here. So I want to make sure that is still maintained, like it can be cut off cleanly. Hey guys, good to see you. Seven. So I think I see a place where I can start. I'm just kind of considering right now several options. One thing that I might do just to try this out is I'm gonna see if I can inset this, and maybe it will get me some extra topo. Get me a little bit extra, another loop at least here. And I can take this out. Then we will drag these back to the center. There. I'm just going to work with what I see right now. So I see this. I'm kind of going to lay this out like flat first, and then I'll pop them up. What I see right here is this osteoderm can be represented like this. I'm probably going to have to cut in some geo and then like resolve it. It's going to look pretty nasty probably in the beginning, but that's how it's got to be, I suppose. These two big ones here. So there's like a cluster of 3 like really big ones. 1, 2, 3, and like a triangle right here. So I could either... This one's made out of 2. Is that the tallest one? No, that's... This is the biggest one that I'm working on right now. Let me do a band here. This could be useful. Maybe. What is the breh? What is all the breh going on in chat for? Is there a problem? Oh, okay. You guys got me worried there for a second. The only time I've heard like people say bruh is when there's an issue. Usually. But then again, there's a lot of dumb stuff on the internet. Okay, so I have this right here. That area is going to become this. Okay, so this is kind of working out. I still have a feeling it's not going to resolve as neatly as I am hoping it will. But this is looking okay right now. Hi, Kivarsha. Hi. I hope your week's been going pretty well. This week, what's been going on for me this week? We had stream on Wednesday. We were working on the Ouranosaurus. So we're working on Ouranosaurus textures. I don't know if you guys have seen that. If not, I can. This is how the Urano is looking right now. So that's what we're working on in Substance Painter in the Wednesday stream. I've done a bit more work on this since then. Just some like the detail stuff on the spots. But we're working on that on Wednesday. And now we're here working on the Peru. Other than that, I've been checking out as far as games wise. I've been having a lot of fun playing Night Rain with some friends of mine. I don't know if you guys are into Souls games, but that's been pretty interesting. It's kind of a weird game, I will admit. Like, you wouldn't think if you were just to read the description on paper about what it is, I don't think it like makes sense for a Souls game necessarily. But it does work pretty well, I think. The formula, the like basic gameplay loop, I think works. Okay, so where do I go from here? I can probably make this into something. I'm trying to stay quads, but I doubt I'll be able to keep that going. I think I'm gonna have to break this up. I could have done... No, I can think of a way to get more resolution in here, but I don't know if I want that right now. That's not really gonna help me with like blocking in the area. Wolfkin skull. Looking lovely. Thanks a lot. Welcome also. I think that might be a new name in chat. How do I want to do this? So I can take these quads here. And then turn them into this big guy. That's another big osteoderm right there. I probably could use the resolution. I think it will probably need the... We can always reduce the amount of polys. So if we need to, we can reduce it, but I want to squeeze as much out of this area as I can, because I have a feeling it's going to need the support. And we can redistribute some of this edge flow too, because some of this stuff's going to get really stretched. Wolfkin was here for another stream, but I tend to lurk often than that. And just works as well. And Wolfkin works as well, if that's a bit easier. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I tend to shorten up people's names a little bit anyway. Yeah, I do the same in a lot of streams. I like put streams on and I just work and listen, or if they're doing something interesting, I'll like check in every now and then. I don't usually ask questions or anything. Not like super often. Sometimes it's cool just to hang out and have something going on in the background. Let's see. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do here. I think I can make this into one of the osteoderms. Things get a little stretched out with the mesh here. I think I'm gonna cut this in half right here. If I get another point, yeah, I'm gonna do that. This is gonna become, I think, probably another inset area. And then I can get some extra resolution here to catch that point of the osteoderm here, I think. And then this will kind of help relieve some of that stretchiness there, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to cut this here. Make like a diamond shape. What I kind of want is like something like that. Let me get rid of some of these edges. Yeah. All the edges. So I want this sort of cross, like it's a hexagon basically, Um, that's not good right there. I might end up with several triangles in here too. Just okay. It's not going to be sculpted on. At least not a ton. So I can carry these over here. That results in 2 triangles. This could be here. This could be here. This edge I introduced, but I don't know if I need. I don't know if I like the flow of this edge here. I kind of would like this center line here to continue across this strip instead of going like in between. Like this. Maybe connect there. This could be that needs to be moved around somewhere. I don't know where yet, but we'll see. Yeah, that's kind of because this, I really like the way these ones started to work out, but then this kind of got janky. which I don't like. Sorry, I might be like extra quiet this stream because this stuff is like, I think topology is where my brain kind of goes into like super focus mode, especially like in areas like this. This is where topology is like, it's definitely more like working out some sort of puzzle. This is a weird edge flow right here. Because if I add a loop here for any reason, that's going to happen. I don't like that. I want it to go across like this. So I'll just, I had that before, I think, but I messed around with it and I need to put it back. I think that's better. Maybe. There's a weird triangle there. But it may need to stay there for the moment. See if I think up something better later. This can maybe get dissolved. It'd be nice if I could get like an edge that runs down the center here. Like this. I have to figure out how it ends, though. But it would let me grab the ridge of this area, and then, what am I doing? Let's see. This maybe could be more like something like this. That way I can start getting that cone shape. Do I need that line there? Let's see. This one. I don't think I need that. That is okay. Okay-ish. There's still problems there that I want to figure out, but it's better than it was, I think. This is still a strange edge flow. Maybe. Let me see what happens. It stops. At least it stops there. Doesn't keep going. Let me see if I can get an inset here and see how that works. That could be a solution. Nah, I don't know. I could try to redirect this center line from here down here. So instead of stopping here, it continues this way and then up and over this edge here to divide this in half. And then I could get something like this. I would have to terminate it somewhere or over here. So I don't really need an additional edge. Or maybe I could loop it around the face if I needed to. Okay. Let's see how this works. So I could use this here and then keep this. Oh, that is a weird edge here. Try and work with it. This is a weirdly placed. I didn't foresee. Maybe I should have like place these a little bit differently, but I don't know. I like the way they look, so we're just gonna work with them. I'm not gonna change the design. It's just this osteoderm here screws up these edge placements, basically. So I'm trying to redirect this flow down here. This is weird. Center. Nodespo. The amount of work is insane. You rock, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot. This part feels a lot. Retopology is like an area where I mean, I've done it many times, but it's always like the phase of the project where it's like the most questionable in my mind. It's like stuff like this where it's like you don't really know the solution for it just yet. And it's like, is it really going to work out? It's that little voice, you know. But it ends up being fine. It's just in the moment, it's kind of frustrating, I guess. I don't like this at all. This is not what I want. I think I'm just going to get rid of this patch of polys. That's a really weird poly right there. We're just going to... Yeah, we're just going to take that out. I'm going to start snapping the polys to the surface, just because I think it's going to help me visualize stuff a little bit better, because these are starting to get like way farther from the edges of the mesh. I'm not actually seeing how things are deforming. And we can actually see, like, I'll put it up in the preview over here. You can see like how it's actually going to start popping up and representing these osteos better. These are like the main worry for me on the mesh, because I feel like they're like a big feature on the design of the animal. Like, it's part of, you know, it's near the face. I think it looks really cool. It helps pop the silhouette a lot. So I want to make sure that I'm grabbing all the detail that I can from this. I think once this is done, I'm going to be much more like relieved about the whole thing, because the rest of it's pretty easy in comparison. I say that now, but I hope I don't kick myself later, but I think that's how it's going to end up being, because we don't have like a ton of other crazy projections on the mesh other than like the little fin parts down here. And I've done that kind of stuff before. Oh, look at that. Check that out. That's a nice mess of polys right there. What is it snapping to? That's snapping to the mesh properly. I don't know why this is freaking out. What are you snapping to? Okay. This will probably need another loop here. We'll see. I think it's gonna need another loop. That's there. This needs a loop down the center. It needs a cut. Okay. That's a weird poly right there. It's 5-sided. Probably merge these. Maybe. You can see how it's starting to grab that there. Right here. Still a lot to fix, but it's starting. Oh, great. That's not what I want. Okay. I think what I need to do is divide this in half. I have to worry about where it's going to terminate later. But I would like this kind of center line here to grab the like middle of the ridge along this. And then what it's also going to do is it's going to give me 2 polys up there in front to turn into the smaller osteoderms near the base of the neck or the base of the skull. I'm going to end that there and we'll figure out where that's going to, I can probably follow this all the way down the back here because these osteos will need an edge here too. So I'll probably follow that all the way down the back somewhere. This is fine. I don't know. I don't want to think about that right now. We'll just worry about this neck portion. So that gives me these two here. Now I can use this. These guys here. Black red-tailed thief. Hey, how's it going? So this is kind of good. These ones. Okay. Just kind of nudging these around. Just to kind of grab things a little bit better. It also gives me time to contemplate other areas, honestly. Sometimes it's better just to like, instead of trying to make the current topology fit what you're trying to get, sometimes it's better just to like make the edge flow that you need. And then like stitch it in. So we'll try that approach here. Because I can extrude these. And then get a general shape. What's this doing? I think what I'd rather do is so we can kind of get that to work there, maybe. Drag these out. That's kind of working. It needs more resolution. Maybe like an inset, but that could work. We could maybe have something here to represent that one. We would need maybe a loop or a cut somewhere here. Or I could try something. We would still need a cut there. I have to think about that one. Can stitch this together. These guys, I don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna get rid of those. Then we'll do the same approach here. Take these three. Like this. And then I'll grab these three again and then extrude them down. So they are here. Something like that. That little corner there is kind of weird. That's better. How do I want this to go? This is not... This is a weird little space right here. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of more info here just to catch the that ridge. Yeah, can you imagine doing like some sort of ankylosaur or something with all these? If you're trying to integrate all of those osteoderms into the mesh without having to have them be separate meshes, that would be crazy. I've seen some meshes from Monster Hunter. They have so many spikes and things like that. They're all integrated in, well, depends on the monster, but a lot of them are all integrated in the same mesh. It's not like separate pieces. which is insane. That is super impressive stuff if you look at the topology on those guys. So that kind of works, but I'm missing like the very topmost part of that. I might have to do another little thingy there. We could actually, I wonder if I need that. Because I could do this. It might not make a ton of difference. Ooh, welcome. Oh, don't worry. I had a late night. I had a late night too. I was just up playing games. But I do kind of feel it this morning. I'm doing pretty well today. Thank you. I got my coffee. I got a new coffee machine. I don't know if I told you guys that. My old coffee machine broke. It was kind of, I mean, it got its use for sure. Like I've had that coffee machine for a while, but it finally broke. I tried fixing it myself because there was a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, of course, that were like showing you what could possibly be wrong with it, and I tried going through all that stuff and it still didn't work, so I just had to get another one. It's really nice though. It does iced coffee and, you know, hot coffee, I guess. So I don't have to spend, you know, I think coffee, if you're going out every morning to get coffee, it can get kind of expensive. And I didn't want to spend any extra money on, like, I don't know. There's a few little coffee shops around me. And then there's like a Starbucks down the road. But it's not super fancy. It's just one of those Keurig things. I'm not like, I drink coffee, but I'm not like an expert on coffee. I feel like if I talk to somebody who really knows a lot about coffee, they would think I'm some sort of, I don't know. I'd probably get judged pretty hard. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm worthy of like a super super fancy machine. I wouldn't know what to do with it, honestly. Let's see. But I hope you were up late because you were having fun, not because of something not good. Like maybe you couldn't get to sleep or something. That would suck. Okay. Ah, playing Minecraft, cool. Yeah, gaming late is a good choice, I suppose. Not that you end up tired, but at least you're enjoying yourself. I was playing, I think I was talking about it earlier. I was playing Night Rain with some friends of mine. I was playing Minecraft not too long ago. One of my friends, so there was kind of like before Night Rain came out. This was maybe like, I don't know, a few weeks ago. There wasn't really like a ton of games to play, or none that we were interested in. And a friend of mine, he wanted to play Minecraft, but he wanted to mod it to make it like more difficult. I think I can't remember the name of the RL Craft. It was the name of the mod. So we tried it, and that was probably that. It was just insane. Like it was like the most struggle I've ever had in a video game. It was just death after death after death. So yeah, it was not like I mean, I'm a fan of Souls games, so I'm fine with like some challenge, you know. I don't mind dying a lot if I'm learning something and like, you know, it's like engaging. But some of those deaths just came out of nowhere. So it got pretty like frustrating. So we didn't finish playing that. It kind of reminded me. So we were playing Valheim. I really enjoyed Valheim for a while. But this was what, like closer to when Valheim first launched, and they had those mosquitoes that like were just ridiculous. So we finally got to like the plains biome where those mosquitoes were. I don't even think we weren't in the biome. We were just like in a forest biome next to the plains, and the mosquitoes would like overlap with the forest a little bit. And holy crap. Like I remember a friend of mine got stuck in this loop where we kind of ventured out a little bit too far. There was a mosquito that kicked our butt. Our loot was obviously left there. So we kept trying to get it, but we were like running naked into the plains to try and grab our stuff. We'd grab our stuff, run maybe like a few feet, and then get killed again. So it was like a solid, like, I don't know. It felt like forever trying to get our stuff back. And that just wore us out, I think. Kivarsha, the game I'm developing is sort of mix of Dark Souls, Shadow of the Colossus, and Zelda, by the way. That sounds like a pretty awesome combination of games. I do love me some Dark Souls, and Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time, I think. I haven't played many Zelda games. Oh, you said Zelda Breath of the Wild. Not by the way. But yeah, Breath of the Wild seems like really, really fun. I don't like playing games on my Switch though, so I have not played it. But I can definitely see the influences in Breath of the Wild. It is very like Shadow of the Colossus-y. Yeah, Valheim was an awesome game. It's just that, and it was before all the updates. So the plains was really like the end of it. You know, there was nothing beyond. So we stopped. We were like at the end of the game anyway at that point. So we just stopped playing. But we picked it up a little bit when they had the Ashes of whatever it's called. I can't remember what the expansion was. And we played a bit more. I think we kind of I can't remember who started the server. One of my friends started the server, and they wanted to do, again, they wanted to like amp up the difficulties, so they messed around with some of the settings. I think we should have just left it alone. I think you see a pattern developing. We try stuff that's really hard and then like get our butts kicked, and we don't follow through. But yeah, Valheim is a really cool game. I like the progression a lot. I like the exploration. The sailing was really fun. I like that there's like bosses in it that you can like look forward to and like the bosses, when you kill them, they unlock new stuff in the game. I think it brings like a nice feeling of progression to a survival game, and where it's kind of needed, because I think a lot of survival games it's nice that they're open-ended, but they can be super open-ended to the point that there's like, unless you're trying really hard to make your own fun, it can be kind of like aimless, you know? So I like that about Valheim. Like there's kind of an objective. You can do what you want, but you obviously know that like you're on the lookout for what the next boss is, or like what the next tier of gear you want to unlock is, that sort of stuff. I've seen videos of people using the death mosquitoes as taxis. Yeah, I don't under how would they use them as taxis, like riding them? I have to look that up. I am wondering how they do that. Kivarsha, I also love how they do the cooking system. I noticed a few new games coming out, and they'll have the really underbaked hunger and thirst gauges that just bogs down the whole. Yeah, that stuff can really be overdone a lot. I like it that it makes you think about like preparing and it's like multitasking, you know. But I don't like when it's like super overbearing to the point where it becomes all you're worrying about, and it like gets in the way of you doing fun stuff. Um, I think most games handle it all right, but cooking in relation to that stuff can be hit or miss. I think some games, majority of it is like pretty watered down, and then there's other games that like kind of take it too far. Like you like have like so many steps, so many ingredients. The ingredients you need are like really rare. Like cooking in Scum, I think is like that a little bit. I played that a lot with my friends, but and the cooking never. I left that up to them because it just seems so difficult to get anything done. they got they got on top of them somehow and ride on the ends of the round. That's pretty funny. I'll have to watch like a video of that or something. Kivarsha, I'm the same. I think if I mean I've had ideas for games um that I want to make as well, but that would be my limitation too, is the coding stuff. But it's cool that you're actually tackling it though. I think that's great. Um I think I've been really intimidated by that, so I haven't made much progress. I should probably just get over it and try it. I don't like this. Why did it do that? Okay. Well, we'll go with this for right now. It sounds like Kivarsha, it sounds like you're way ahead of me. I mean, I have ideas for games and I have like design docs that I've built out, style guides, like inspirations and stuff like that. Sometimes, yeah, there's a few things that I have modeled and stuff like that, but it sounds like you're much further in your progress with your game. I haven't gotten very far past the planning stages, you know. Who birds? I can't do anything tech related. Highly impressed with all you do. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Kivarsh, just speaking of, I'd be really honored if you took a look at the Discord's art channel. I'm working on my big baddie and could use some feedback on it. Okay. Sure. Do you have it? Is it up there now? Sorry about the little doggy. In the art channel, let's see. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, oh, I see. This like serpent. It's like a serpent dragon guy. This guy's really cool. So he's like, okay. So he gains like extra heads, and it looks like they're made out of like shadow, maybe? Like some kind of smoke. I really like the design of his head and the scales. I'm a big sucker for like multi-limbed, because it almost gives him like the feel of like a deity. I was working on a design kind of like almost like a Bahamut-esque dragon guy, and I gave him several arms and stuff, and I think it really makes them feel very like, I don't know, like a dragon god or something like that. I think it's really cool. Stormcloud as his main. Okay, so he's like a storm dragon. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, so those are like his previous enemies. Yeah, that's awesome. I like the backstory that you have for him. It's very, yeah. I get the Souls vibe from it. One of my favorite bosses from Elden Ring was the what's his name? He's like the dragon that you fight in Faramazula. What the heck is his name? He's like the king of dragons guy. Placidusax, I think is his name. That boss is really cool. Do you have a name for your dragon character? Excuse me. The only thing I mean, he looks really cool. As far as feedback goes, I think he's pretty solid. I would just watch the anatomy of the arms. But that's fairly easy to find reference for, so I don't think there should be a problem in like refining that. Human anatomy is, because his arm structure is fairly human. Human anatomy is pretty abundant. You can find reference for that everywhere, basically. Or you can just take a picture of your own arm. In those poses. Yeah, the human anatomy is, the reason why it's difficult is because it's so easy for everyone to, because we see people all the time, you know. So even people who aren't artists can really see if something's off with a human anatomy inspired creature. And yours isn't, you know, that much. It's just the arms basically, but it's one of the reasons why, and this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, it's one of the reasons why creature designers can get away with so much, is because like they can get away with a lot of bad anatomy, is because majority of people aren't really familiar with lots of animal anatomy. So like, for example, you see a lot of like werewolf designs and stuff like that with really good anatomy, because it's partially human, so people pay attention much more to that stuff. But if you look at games and like actual, like, there's a lot of dogs in games that just look bad. Like the way their legs are bend, the way they the way that the legs are structured, they just get them wrong a lot of the time. And even in some, even it happens a lot in even AAA games. You can see like bad dog models in AAA games, and it's because a lot of creature designers, or some, I won't say a lot. I have to be careful how I'm speaking, but you know, there's a lot more you can get away with. People aren't as judgy, which isn't an excuse. I think people should do their research and actually, you know, is one of the reasons why it's such a pet peeve of mine is because you'll hear, like, if you look at a lot of tutorials for concept design, you'll hear a lot of concept designers harp on, like, you got to get your references everything, take your inspiration from nature, you know, do all this research and stuff like this. But then a lot of creature designs in AAA games or in or even in movies, you can really tell that the design isn't really that deeply researched. You can really tell when it comes to dinosaurs. Which is one of the reasons why I'm not really interested in a lot of dinosaur projects from like movies and stuff. Just because they all look the same. Werewolves are cooler than vampires. They're definitely more creature. Well, it depends on. I think I'm more vampire side of things, but only if the vampires look kind of like bat, like, you know, like if they're like a bat monster, then that's cool. If they're just like a guy with pale skin, that's kind of not the vampire I'm talking about. Or maybe they transform into like some kind of bat thing. One of the cooler vampire designs that I like is from Underworld. Underworld 2. There's a bat creature, one of the guys in there turns into like a bat guy. What's my favorite werewolf? Werewolf design. I think one of my most favorite is actually from Harry Potter. I can't remember which one it is, but Professor Lupin turns into that vampire. Though I like it because it's kind of like, it's strange looking. Like it's not like your typical like big buff werewolf guy. He's like lanky and like kind of looks weak, but also like dangerous at the same time. I just think it looks interesting. It's not like what you would usually expect, you know. I like that design a lot. Van Helsing's really good too. I do like the Van Helsing designs. You know what I wish there was more of? World of Darkness games, okay? All text-based. There were several games set to come out, but they were discontinued. Oh, okay. I don't think I'm familiar with World of Darkness. I haven't played really any text-based games, I don't think. Maybe when I was like younger, like in elementary school or something, I might have, but I can't remember very well. Tifa, Tifa. Why are you selecting? There we go. Roboraptor. I always try to make my animals look like they could be real. Yeah, same. Yeah, that's a really nice way to help people like suspend their disbelief in something, is try and make it feel grounded. It depends on the context of like what you're doing though. Like I am a fan of like super crazy designs as well. But it helps to know the world you're working in, you know. Like my favorites, I guess my favorite examples of like more plausible or like designs that are trying to take realism into consideration, like thinking about their ecology and stuff like that. um Monster Hunter is always at the top of the list. King Kong, like Peter Jackson's King Kong, not the latest King Kong. um the stuff that Weta was doing for that movie was really cool. um yeah, those are probably two of my top favorites. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Something like that, maybe? We could do this. We could bring this down to get this little space in there. Grab that. I have to check that out, Kivarsha, the World of Darkness games. They sound interesting. I haven't really heard a lot about them though. That's this. No. Okay. Oh no, who? Don't worry about it. It's cool to hear what you guys are. Yeah, I like talking about games and stuff. So I think it's really interesting combo. I'm also like just kind of I'm still thinking about ways to deal with a lot of these complex shapes. So it's kind of nice to let my brain breathe, you know. Have some space for it's like solving problems in the background of my mind, I guess, is what I'm talking about. Sometimes that's the best way to deal with this stuff, because if you just try to tackle it head on and like just it can be tiring, I guess. There's a good chunk of this mesh that's now covered, which is good. There's still like little holes and stuff here and there though that are going to need to be resolved. So that's going to be like probably, I'm hoping it's not too much more time consuming. But a lot of the times, like those little areas cause more adjustments. Like they have a, kind of a knock-on effect. So you adjust one little area here, and that makes this a change in another area, and then that causes another change someplace else. So who knows what else might pop up around here. Tifa. Uh, Bun Bun, also not gonna lie, looks good, though I feel there's just too much trying to be done there. What do you mean? I mean, there's a lot to be done here because there's a lot here, I think. It has to be represented in the low poly, or else these ridges aren't going to be. It's not going to look correct. So, I mean, there's not really another way that I can think to do it unless you separate each of these little osteoderms from the mesh, which I don't think I want to do. It's a lot to deal with, but I think it's can be worked through. It's nothing I don't think I can solve eventually, you know. And the thing, so what's happening now is I'm just kind of trying to figure out a general, trying to represent all of this stuff somehow. There's always like optimization that can be done. Like I can find better flows to the edges. I can merge certain things. I can like, it'll kind of come to me as I go. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot for a bit. That's just kind of how it goes for me, at least. And I've seen other game meshes for dinos and dragons and stuff like that. I've studied before, and they look way crazier than this, I think. Like I was looking at a mesh for an ankylosaur. I can't remember what game it was from, but all of the osteoderms were part of the mesh, the body of the mesh, and there was some crazy stuff going on in there. Way more than, in some areas, way more than this, I think. Robo, you're making a kaiju game? That sounds cool. I am a big fan of kaiju. Mama Man Bun, Mama Bun Bun. Sorry, Man Bun. I'd say if you can manage with how frustrating that looks on the Puru. I mean, this stuff is always kind of like this. I really don't see any way around it. This is like, yeah, it's just like the kind of stuff that you have to kind of grin and bear, I think. It's not like unbearable. It's just a lot to think about. Which is why I'm taking it piece by piece. And I mean, we got a lot done. Like literally all of this was not here this morning, 2 hours ago. There's like loose ends and stuff to deal with. Like all these little gaps in here need to be filled out and like resolved. Which is part of the like tedium, I guess. But it's there, there is stuff here now. I have a plan for how all this is going to resolve down here. So these major these guys are they're gonna come down here. I need more resolution on the back here anyway. So all of this is gonna come down here, probably to the tail, and then it'll probably come back up over here. These lines are gonna come down also. So it's really like these little gaps in here that need to be filled out and terminated properly. There's always ways to like we can get more edge flow down in here. There's stuff in here that I can because one thing that I'm thinking of is see this, there's this crease here that I need to capture. So I'm gonna have to change this here a little bit so that way that is represented. But we're getting there. This is literally the most complex area. So once we're done with this, I think it's pretty smooth sailing for the rest of the body. This part of the torso is gonna be nowhere near as complex. I'm kind of like no, I think this is gonna work out pretty well. I was gonna say, maybe I should have like thought about the arrangement of these osteoderms. But the thing that I don't like to do when I'm designing a creature is I don't like to let the topology like limit my design choices. Because I could have done a different pattern here, right? Like I could have made this more like a grid. I could have made it more regular. I could have not added so many. I could have like not exaggerated the tips, the points as much. But then I think we would have lost out on a lot of cool character in the design of the Puru. So I don't regret doing that. I think he looks cool, this area especially. So if it means like a little extra work to get it in there, then that's fine with me. I think I'll be happier with it in the end. Let's see what time. Oh, okay. We are 5 over. So yeah, I think pretty good progress on this today. A lot more to do still, and we'll keep going. We'll keep going on this on next Saturday. I think next Saturday still good to go. once again, thanks to all of you for being here with me today. Thanks for all the help, the suggestions, the sharing your artwork and stuff, and talking about your ideas in chat. Yeah, I don't have any further announcements. Wednesday was going to be another stream. We might still be working on the Urano, or we might be working on like another aspect of the Urano. Because I've been doing a bit of work on the textures since our last stream, so that's been moving just a little bit ahead. Yeah, I think that's about it. So thanks again, everybody. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you maybe Wednesday or maybe next week. Thanks again. Bye.